Let's talk some more about the good old days. All right, so we talked a little bit last time about my college running, college per se. Most of that was cross country and then learning to be a marathoner. I had some early success as a marathoner. My first was at age 16. Yes, that's young. I definitely trained to accomplish that feat. And throughout college, I often exceeded 100 miles per week training for the marathon. Had some success, I mentioned before, 6 different marathons in 2 hours, 30 minutes, and a few seconds, narrowly missing that 2:30 barrier. Yes, that's fast, but I certainly wanted to be under that 2:30, so I, in, I love my stumbling over words, in the fall of 1977, I was still in college, still at Angelo State, and a friend, Randy Wilkowicz, a Canadian runner, and I ran the AAU Cross Country Championships in Houston, Texas. Buffalo Bayou, brutal course. Nick Rose ended up winning on a sloppy, muddy day, followed by Craig Virgin. And the night before that race, in the hotel, I met the incredible Bill Squires. Bill Squires was the coach of the Greater Boston Track Club, had coached the video cut off for some reason. He was Bill Rogers' coach at the Greater Boston Track Club. Bill Rogers, of course, multiple-time Boston Marathon, New York City Marathon winner, among other marathons around the world. Incredible athlete, incredibly nice guy. I'll have a whole video on my relationship with Bill. But Bill Squires was one of the greats in coaching. Alberto Salazar was one of his early pupils. Greater Boston Track Club had multiple runners under 2 hours and 20 minutes back in the 70s. And marathoning in the 70s was different than today. You had the really fast runners, but you also had a lot of depth runners between 2 hours 20 minutes, 2 hours 35 minutes that you don't see these days. I remember one particular marathon I placed very highly for 30,000 runners, the New York City Marathon, and I was only 116th place overall with a 2 hour, 25 minute, 44-second marathon. That particular race was special for another reason that will come up in another video, but Bill Squires decided that he would take on a little 92-pound Texan and basically train me to become a better marathoner. So we started working together, and my mileage gradually increased from the 70s and 80s up to the 9100 range, and that led to all of those 230 some odd marathons. And then eventually in 1981, January 1981, the Houston Marathon, loaded field, so many runners that Bill Rogers actually won the race in 2 hours 12 minutes, and I finally, with the help of an incredible pacer, Gary Bjorklund, who also had run a 2:10 marathon, Gary paced me to a 2 hour 28 47-second marathon, blasting the 2:30 barrier by over 1 minute. Actually, in my career, I've never run a 2:29 marathon. 2:28 was the step below 2:30, and from there I actually finished my college classes in 1981 in August and moved to Eugene, Oregon. The Eugene, Oregon years were incredible. My experiences with the runners and with Nike Shoe Company will be my next video. So kudos to Bill Squires. I'll talk a lot more about him and his training methods in future episodes. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these, give it a thumbs up and share these videos maybe. I know someone else's history is not always that interesting, but I definitely was running at a very unique time in America, the running boom, the true running boom, when there weren't all these triathlons and other things to occupy people. People ran marathons, and even the world-class marathoners were often working 40-hour plus weeks just to support themselves, since supposedly professional running was not allowed. We all know that that wasn't totally true, but That's the way it was supposed to be. More later. Cheers. And shout out to Squirrels Nut Butter. I am not a sponsored athlete by Squirrels Nut Butter by any means. I just love the product, the best anti-chafe product on the market. Thank you, Chris Thornley, my extremely curious executive producer and director, Rocky, the Wonder Cat. He wants dinner.